Hello, welcome to another episode of Non-Mainstream Dad. My name is Morgan Jones. This channel is devoted to talking about responsible non-monogamy and alternative sexual lifestyles, but there will be a lot of little deviance and adventure in our topics, I promise. Once again, my disclaimer. I'm not doing this because of my doctorate or research, nor do I claim to be a sex therapist or a relationship counselor. No offense to anyone who comes from those backgrounds. I admire your hard work. I'm a person who is a sex educator from personal experience and concern from the things I've seen that people need to learn and wisdom I can share. And I'm a life coach. You can contact me via my website at nonmainstream.org, all one word. And coming up in August of 2019, I will be presenting workshops at an event called Libertine. It's focused on non-monogamy, sacred sexuality, hedonism, kink, BDSM, education, enjoyment. It's held at Camp Midian in Springville, Indiana. It's not too far from Bloomington, and it's August 30th to September 2nd. You can get more information at www.labordaylibertine.org. Please remember to like my videos and subscribe. It helps me do more, inspires me, and tells me that I'm actually getting through and helping people. So that helps me keep going. So this is part of my series on how to become poly and how you do this process. My plan for this series is to walk through the progression of learning if poly is right for you and or your relationship, and the steps and stages you'll go through determining that, and how to actualize it. We'll discuss some of the considerations, pitfalls, and joys of living life this way. Please remember to follow us and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/nonmainstreamdad, all one word, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram under those as well, as at non-mainstreamdad. The name of today's episode is The Quest Begins, and in an earlier episode we discussed the rules and relationship guidelines as you embark on a polyamorous lifestyle and non-monogamy, and whether you're deciding this as a single or part of an existing relationship. And like the last episode, I'll revisit for a moment something incredibly important here, and that's relationships are about agreements. They're about communicating needs, wants, and expectations. They're about informal, verbal, and written contracts, and doing what is agreed to or dealing with the agreed to or contract terms not being met and the consequences thereof. Be honest, be direct, be candid. Be genuine and be authentic. Be honest when you're scared. When you do that, you provide a solid base for the life you're trying to build and the relationships you're going to entertain into your life. Looking for new partners and other poly folks is incredibly difficult and it's kind of stressful. I have a personal rule. I will only date people I've known for over 6 months. It allows me to get a good feel for them and just what their brand of crazy is, and if it will fit with mine and my family's, because we all have our own little twists and everything. It helps me avoid moth to flame situations more often than not, and helps me make sure that the attraction I initially felt isn't a petty, pretty flash in the pan, and something I want to invest my time and energy into, because sometimes the fire is hot and you want to go near the fire, and that's always not always the best case, but that's why I'm a fire tender, and we'll go into that in a different video at some point. Now, my rule is not infallible, and there are times when I jump off the cliff and ignore my own rule. Because, well, rules, when we make them to break them. It's more like a guideline, but keep to the code. Keep to the code. I've had it go well, and I've had it go horribly. But it's better to be cautious sometimes. Each relationship is different. Each relationship has its own needs. Each relationship requires its own agreements. I do my best to make sure all of my partners feel respected within the structure of relationships. As long as everyone focuses on mindfulness, it works really well. So, where to start? Do you approach becoming poly or searching out for your first relationship as a couple or a single? That depends on you guys. There are some people that are going to search out as a couple. It's going to be harder because you're trying to get that one person to mate, match, and like two people at the same time, hopefully in a similar manner. Hopefully, it's really hard to find somebody who likes both people right off the bat, and wants to jive, and then maintains that exact same level with both of them for the duration of their relationship. That's really, really wonderful if you find it, but that's why they're called unicorns. But you're going to possibly be more problematic trying to find someone who's going to jive with both of you. It's easier to date as an individual and then kind of screen. And as you find people that you like, decide would your partner like them, and then does that mean that, and then you can work it that way. But you need to remember that being a package deal is a deal breaker for a lot of people, because it limits and it demands, and there are times when some people will use it as extortive, and this is not the goal here. So you have to be careful, you have to be aware, you have to be honest, you have to be self-aware. It's that self-aware thing that always gets us. So personally, I approach poly as a single. I mean, I'm in multiple relationships. I am definitely not a single person. However, I'm not a package deal, to a point. I take into consideration how my partners will fit with my prospective partners as to whether I pursue my prospective partners, because I'd much rather things be copacetic and calm, and everybody happy and get along. But package deals are hard. They're hard to sell. And you have better luck finding other couples. And then you still have the not always great success rate of both of them liking both of you. Sometimes only one likes the other, and then the other two are kind of a fifth and sixth wheel, and not in a camper fun kind of way. So yeah, you gotta think about that, and when couples come together, there is a danger for one of the pairings within the couples spiking and going faster, farther than the others do. And that can lead to some resentment, and it can lead to problems occasionally. And it's one of those things you just have to work at to figure out how to handle. But it's a problem that can happen. And that's what happens occasionally when couples date couples. Because when Bob and Sarah and Linda and Troy start hitting it off, and all of a sudden Linda and Bob just aren't into each other because, well, she doesn't like his toenails because those are gross. I mean, Sarah puts up with it, but Linda doesn't have to, and she doesn't really like it. So she's not interested. That happens. And it causes a problem if you're engaged as a couple, not as a human being and an individual. And package deals cause problems and hurts, and they cause backlashes in primary relationships and nesting relationships. So it's something to be very, very aware of. Some of the benefits of as a couple: your partner knows where you are and how things are going, and so there's a less likelihood chance of them feeling left out of everything, hopefully. Because hopefully if there's two couples, then all four are communicating. And if they're not, then look at what's going on and figure out if you're trying to be package deal, this is not going to work. This is not going to sell. And it's okay for metamors to become friends. If you try to hook up as a couple and the two that originally connected still connect, but the other two do not mesh, they can still be friends as metamors. They don't have to have a fuck relationship. They can just be platonic, intimate friends if they want to. Or they can not like each other. It's a world. They have that right. But basing everything off of how your partner reacts and feels towards another person makes that interaction that much harder, that much more stressful, and that much more taxing on you. So think about that while you're deciding how you want your poly to operate, how you want to feel that you're getting what you want from your partners. I'm not saying that these things are not okay. I'm saying they're hard. And I'm not saying I haven't done them, because I have, and that's how I can tell you that they're hard. I've done poly as a couple. It doesn't really work well. Especially when your partner isn't quite as into your partner's partner anymore. It makes it hard, it makes it difficult. That's where you learn that metamors don't have to fuck. They don't have to be in a relationship. They can just be, hey Bob, hey Susan. Oh, they're at it again. Do you want to watch TV? Have you seen all the Game of Thrones? I mean, you can do that. You want to go get some coffee? Or you can just go do something else and not hang out with them. But you need to figure that out yourself. And you need to learn your own boundaries and how to interact with other people for that. So, some of the blunders, I kind of went into that. You can get things confused when you try to make other people deal with other people in ways that they don't want to, and it'll backlash. Be careful of agreeing without agreeing. Always make sure everything is plainly stated. Never assume anything. Seriously, never assume anything. Always make sure you get it well spoken out, and I encourage in writing, because that helps you make sure that you're clear. After you write it out and you read it and you go, okay, was I crazy or did this make sense? It made sense. Okay, good. So this is what I need. Oh, you don't think that that's okay? Why not? Oh, I didn't think about it that way. And then you learn and you grow together and you expand your relationship. You don't shut down and go, oh, I'm not ever, I won't even talk to her again. You can't do that. You have to expand, you have to work, you have to communicate, you have to exchange, you have to back and forth. It works that way. So, just a couple of things to help. But yeah, always make sure you specifically, clearly state, and if you can put it in writing, please do so that both parties can make sure they know specifically what they are getting into and what they intend to do. Set expectations. And don't ask, don't tell, last of all. That's the last thing I'm going to hit today. No. You need to communicate. You need to be partners. You need to talk. You need to do this together. Saying, you go off and do your thing, it's non-monogamy, but it's not fair to anybody. Because nobody should have to be a secret. So figure out what you're going to live with, but don't ask, don't tell is not really okay. Just to say. I think that's a good start for today. We're going to continue in our next episode working on finding other non-monogamous, and we're going to talk about what it's like looking for those relationships and some of the ideas on how to connect with other people that like relationship desire. Thank you for watching Non-Mainstream Dad. I'm Morgan Jones. Tune in to our next episode. Please like this one, subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/non-mainstreamdad, all one word. And follow us on Twitter at ampersand or at symbol non-mainstreamdad, all one word. That we get updates, can ask questions, make comments as we take our journey through this. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you tune in to our next episode. Come see me at Libertine, August 30th to September 2nd. That's www.libertine.org. Feel free to leave comments, ask questions. I'll do my best to respond. You may even inspire another episode's worth of response. www.nonmainstreamdad.org. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.